And a live television picture this morning. Check it out. Yes, the rhino is... This sums up that Christmas and the season is here. The rhino is about to be lifted up there at the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens as we get ready here in a couple weeks for Festival of Lights kicking off. And get that rhino head up there. That is the true symbol of kicking off the holiday season. We'll talk more about that coming up. Stay tuned. That's a live look, 9/11 right now. I want to bring in Sharon this morning. She's an international etiquette expert and author. She's going to discuss a few things with us here this morning as we go into those holiday gatherings and keeping things, you know, all polite. Good morning to you, Sharon.
Well, good morning to you, Frank, and to your viewers.
We're so glad to have you here this morning. So, yeah, I mean, the rule number one is you should bring up politics at the Thanksgiving table, correct?
Absolutely. Bring that up. Frank, throw it right out there. Just,
right there.
You know, make sure everyone, it feels all awkward. It's wonderful.
Yes, yes. I mean, and that's the thing, too. And I think with the last year and COVID and everything, the gatherings were smaller. Now there has to be a part in our heart where we want to get together with family and friends, but there are some things that we should steer away from, especially, you know, at some of those holiday office parties, too, that might be coming back.
Well, you know, there's so many other wonderful topics you can discuss. The Nobel Prize winners, sports. You know, I'm down here in Austin, Texas, but I'm a Buckeye. So I am going to be talking a lot of sports down here because, let's face it, UT is not doing that great. So there's a lot of topics we can talk about. And, you know, you got to be kind of careful, test the waters. You don't know necessarily where people's allegiances lie. But if you do want to stir things up, you can always, you know, have a political discussion, but maybe you want to have it outside and away from people whose temperature might rise.
Yeah, just a little bit. And when it comes to, you know, carrying ourselves through the holiday season, there's always a lot of questions, too, about like tipping. Like, I mean, holiday tipping, and when you talk about, you know, restaurants and your hairdresser and that sort of thing.
That's right, because this is the season of gratitude. It's whenever we express our thanks to those people who have taken care of us all year. And during the pandemic, we have become a lot more appreciative of those people who have risked a lot out there, you know, doing things for us, that we have turned into a lot more of a service industry where we really appreciate those people doing curbside delivery, taking care of us with our groceries. So people have increased the amount that they're willing to tip. But the number one rule, Frank, is never tip more than you're financially able to. Always budget and prioritize the people that you're willing to tip. And then don't go above that, because those January bills are unforgiving.
Absolutely. Right now with shipping and everything being an issue and supply chains, what about regifting? You might have something you got last year that you haven't used. You know, there might be a coffee maker or something. Is it taboo to regift?
It used to be very taboo in U.S. culture to regift. With us wanting to be more ecologically savvy, for us to want to save the environment, it's not as taboo anymore, especially if it's in the original wrapping. The seal is still on it. And, Frank, you can't use it. You can't go out there and use that coffee maker for the whole year and then say, oh, my gosh, you know what, I'm going to regift it. Let me just clean the grounds out of it. That would be a faux pas.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think, too, you know, COVID obviously is still a real thing when it comes to gatherings, and it's up to everybody doing what's comfortable for them. But I guess as the host, don't have your feelings hurt if somebody opts out because they don't want to do an in-person gathering.
That's right, because the guest is the one that has the real power. The guest can say, you know, I'm not going to come, or the guest can also pick up the phone and call the host. The host should really let the guests know, I'm going to require vaccinations, I'm not going to require them, I'm going to require masks. And if the host doesn't let folks know that, then the guest can pick up the phone or send a text or an email and say, hey, what are the ground rules? Yeah. I need to know, because I'm going to make a decision whether I'm going to attend or not. And nobody should be offended. Hey, you know, we need to know the rules of the game. Yeah, we went to a Halloween party, actually, and they did a great job with that. They said, okay, we're going to have an outdoor area, an indoor area. Do what, don't want to come, it's cool, but do what you're comfortable, which is great. Just be forthright with those on the invite there. Well, thank you so much, Sharon. We really appreciate it. My pleasure. Happy holidays to you and everyone.
Looks cloudy there in Austin this morning. 9:15 right now. Let's get over to Catherine Bodak, watching the forecast here in Cincinnati. What's going on?
Yes, it's funny how a meteorologist thinks, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh, they're dealing with some fog, or maybe she's up in a tall building. But anyway, we're going to see today those temperatures eventually make it to the mid-60s.